and just get the banner. Okay, so everybody can see the slides that I'm sharing. Is that correct?
What is this? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just starting. Cello's gonna start us off here.
Okay, so we're going to start with Mark Polling, give us an update on the WEF and the WISE. Mark?
Sure, let me go. So I have some exciting news to share with everyone. The Strategic Steering Committee for the UAIM program met on February 3rd. And we met with Steph from WAF. WAF. Oh, I need some more coffee this morning. We met with Steph from staff from WAF, and very exciting news. The UAIM program is going to continue under WEF with they're going to be the administrators, and they're very excited about bringing the program over to the Federation. And it's been great working with the Research Foundation, but now we sort of have a long-term home, and there'll be more news coming out about that. And let me share some more details with you. So the committee voted unanimously to move over. We are going to change the name, and I know everyone has this fond feeling in their heart for UAIM. I know Cello does, but we're going to change to, the acronym will be WISE, and what that will stand for is Water Intrapreneurs for Successful Enterprises. Probably not the best morning for me to be pronouncing difficult words, but it's water intrapreneurs as opposed to entrepreneurs for successful enterprises. And so you'll see more about that coming up pretty soon. We're going to be adding some new utility partners as WEF brings the program online. We'll be able to add new utility partners who want to come in and join the UAIM WISE program. And then leadership after the transition, the steering committee membership, that's going to be exclusive to utility partners. Of course, the project team will be staffing that along with WEF staff, and WEF staff includes Barry Liner, Morgan Brown, and it also includes Lisa McFadden. And some of you may know some of those folks from your work with WEF, and they're great people, great folks to work with on this relationship. And then you might be wondering, okay, well, where do we fit in the big world of WEF? Because WEF has something like, is it 40 or 45? I should know this number, but it's at least 40 different committees, and then there's lots of subcommittees. We're going to be associated with the Utility Management Committee, not necessarily reporting directly to it, but we're going to be working with them closely, and which we've always done, because frankly, a lot of our members are on the Utility Management Committee. I think Zonetta is the current vice chair. Todd Swingle is a past chair. Mike Sweeney is also a past chair. We have a lot of folks who are on the UMC at WEF who are part of this project and program already. So that's pretty exciting news that we're going to be working closely with them. And I really do think that's a good fit too. And from my perspective, that's always been one of my favorite committees because they get a lot of things done. So it's going to be great to be working with them. So right now we're in the process of getting that up and started. There'll be some agreements for the utility partners, and some invoices for the upcoming year. We're going to look at a fiscal year. I believe it's going to be starting on September 1st. We had lots of options, but we'll definitely work with utility partners in terms of what's your annual cycle of billing and where's your budgets fall and that sort of thing. So we definitely want to have some flexibility included with that. Let's see, anything else here I want to mention? There's going to be a lot more information coming out as we get some of the details finalized, so please look for that. But in the meantime, I'd be happy to, I know we try to keep these meetings short, but if there's a question or two, I'd be happy to answer that now, or I can also take it offline if you want to email me as well. So are there any questions right now about moving from the Research Foundation, wrapping up our work with them, and it's been a great relationship, and been happy to work with them, and then now we'll be moving it into a continuous ongoing program with WEF. So any questions I can answer for anyone at this point?
Mark, you might mention that agreements are going to be sent out, or just say something about that.
Yeah, those as we get the program up and running, right now they're working on finalizing what those agreements will look like, and so I would expect to see those in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I think someone had a question.
Yeah, real quick, Mark, thanks for this report. I may be behind the times with this question. Is there anything that we need to know about the portal, the web portal and access that way?
Yeah, WEF is going to manage that, and there'll be information coming out on that, on how to access the portal. Cello, do you have any more details on that you could share?
I don't have any more details now. These things are all being worked on, and as soon as I have some updates, I will get back to everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Sorry we don't have a more detailed answer, but a lot more stuff's going to be coming through. We're getting those agreements finalized, and then the invoices will go out as well, so we can keep the program going on after we wrap up with our final report. And I know Cello's got a little bit more info on that later in the meeting. Any other quick question I can answer for someone?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, if you have something, feel free to email, give me a call. I'm happy to talk more about it, and we'll keep you all informed and look for more information to follow. Thank you.
Hey, so Scott, can you help me out? Is Kesra online?
I didn't see Kesra or Kesra. Speak up if you are.
Okay. So I'm going to share just a really quick overview of what has been happening on the people topics. A lot of people are doing really a good job. We have set up a framework sort of for both the workforce maturity model on the left side, initially based on Daniel Pink's work, and on the right side, the sort of basic framework and categories for the organization, and based on Patrick Lencioni's, which was really just a way to start identifying the things that would make up the model. We had workshops, two workshops, one for workforce, one for organizational culture, and they produced 200 statements or ideas for each of these topics, about 400 total. I was asking if Kesra Osman from Great Lakes was online, because there are several people who have been working on this, and the leads have been active as well. So some of the slides, including this one, actually come from Kesra. So we started with a number of statements in terms of what the maturity in these aspects should be. As I said, a couple of hundred, both for organizational culture and for workforce. This was collapsed into 45 categories, and then later into fewer, 20, and then categories were placed into 8 sections, because we couldn't start with 400 items. And then we also started work on the assessment model. So this is just not intended to be read. I hate when somebody puts up a slide and says, I know you can't read it, but you don't need to, so why did I put it up? Just to show you the depth of the work that's going on. There's a spreadsheet in OneDrive that has a lot of detail, but the bottom line is that we're organizing this and identifying questions for different levels of maturity. For the questions, we're using several sources, including Office of Personnel Management, the federal government, identifying whether something belongs in workforce or organization, and often it actually belongs in both. So there's been a lot of good discussions on this. So we started with these 400 ideas, collapsed them somewhat more, and right now we're defining the preliminary assessment questions, and also finalizing the level 5 maturity statements. So we will have workshops this month. I'll show you the schedule, and next month to be sort of consolidating this information. But this is our path. If you remember, this is the overall model for our effort, which was expanded from the original. So in the upper left corner is the people, process, and technology, and where right now this people effort is focused on developing these maturity definitions for workforce and for organizational culture. And they both link to change management. So our effort is to target it eventually that these maturity models and assessment methods would provide input for us to better understand the challenges related to people and organization as we go through change management. So that's how it all ties together. And this is just a high-level overview, and I sent you in the chat line the link to this file that also includes a high-level schedule for this is for February and March. We need to produce a draft final report in March. These orange boxes are workshops that are going to be held. So there will be workshops, as you see, on March 8, 10, and then 21 and 24. And then also in April, we're mostly going to be finalizing the report and having some workshops and looking into plans for next year so that we can define all the activities that we want to engage in the next year. So as I said, the intention was not to go today into a lot of detail about this, but just to give you a sense that there is a structure and that you can look it up later at that link at the spreadsheet and sort of see where we're at. So before we move to improvement initiatives, I just want to open it up quickly for questions and see or comments and see if anybody would like to contribute something. And I also want to acknowledge the work that so many people, Parijat and Kesra and Alice and Makeda, a lot of people have done really wonderful work on this, and Lisa and Don have been very helpful in sort of steering the whole effort. So it is sort of a bit of sausage making, but it will all be discussed in workshops and shared pretty soon. So if there are no questions, I'm going to move forward. And Scott, did you want to say a few words about the improvement initiatives?
Sure. So we have 4 different groups involved. We have enterprise risk management, which is led by Elaine Blinn from WSSC. We have asset management plans that's led by Richard Windsor, Patricia Nix from Team 2100. We have CIP delivery and business case evaluation led by Dan Ott and Getachew Milsu. And we have also independent modeling and improvement work that is being done as part of track 1, and there continues to be some work done in that regard. You're going to hear a little bit more from Mike Barnett at the end of the meeting. And what I would say is that each of these groups has been conducting regular, well-attended, team meetings for the most part. There have been a few workshops that have been held, and it's worth mentioning that next Tuesday, the asset management plan group is going to be having a open up to the wider group a workshop where you would hear about Team 2100's efforts in relation to life cycle modeling. They've had previous workshops that have focused on digital asset management plans, as well as another one on life cycle modeling. There's another one planned where Toho is going to be presenting on asset management plans, and so they've been very workshop oriented. But if you're interested in next Tuesday, you've basically received from Cello a notification of that, so anyone's invited to attend, and that should be good, a good session, as the others have been. And so team meetings, workshops, and deliverables is kind of what we're focused on. And in terms of the deliverables, you can see, a little spreadsheet that basically identifies the kinds of deliverables and target dates for completion. And each of these groups are preparing, filling out this worksheet or something like it to submit, so that we can have documentation of these work process improvements. So maybe I'll just stop there. If there are any questions, or if anyone, there's some members of these teams that are on, if they want to mention anything, they certainly could. It's been real good working groups associated with these teams, and a lot of progress has been made.
Any questions or thoughts? Okay, Mike, did you want to share your screen? Mike Arnett?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go back to the that first slide, Cello, and I'll cover that quickly too. Just on the improvement initiative Scott described, they're very active and working with John Coltus, as many of you know, who's helping us track all of the progress on these case studies, as well as the model. So in terms of the case studies, what we're doing is making sure we nail down the topics, getting an outline of what that case study will involve, and starting to build the narrative. So John, you'll probably get, or already have received emails from John Coltus. If you have not and think you should, please let me know, and we'll add you to the list. He's tracking those case studies, and I'll show you very quickly what what the list looks like here. Can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so there are, quite a number of case studies and utilities in the list, and you can see they are the kinds of things that Scott just talked to, largely for the track 2.
Mike, all we just see is a green field, just a green screen, so I'm not sure.
Scott, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I can too.
Okay.
Me too. Me too.
Cello, you
Okay,
might try a
sorry.
refresh.
It's a problem on my end, probably.
Okay, so we've got Louisville's got is working on capital project delivery. Portland is we've done in the past their risk management. Also going to talk to them about the asset management. The guys at Team 2100, as you know, are doing a great job on asset management planning. And Andreas Bassett in Denmark's got a very interesting case study about using robotic process automation, which is a bit of a more advanced in terms of the process lifecycle. It should be an interesting one. Some of the others, we have extensions or enhancements to previous case studies, like what OCFL is doing. Chris Wu's been involved in Metro Vancouver in a couple of the track 2 topics, and we're working to nail down his topic. Jessica at Loudon Waters have been both in the BCE process group, but also there's an interesting collaboration going on in the risk management group, where Elaine Blinn at WSSC has got a a fairly comprehensive enterprise risk management model. And then several folks like Jessica and Kathleen at WSSC, and perhaps Chris Wu and others are going to focus on portions of that process and have case studies that revolve around that. Gwinnett County, Stephen's working on capital improvement projects. Also, Yige Gao just contacted us about a track 1 process for inflow and infiltration program that she's interested in adding. The DC Water folks have been great with their SIP BCE processes. We've got, Clean Water Services submitting a number of different processes. He's actually written a case study already, which we're reviewing. And then we just talked to Baltimore about the onboarding. They may get involved in more detail later. And then Jenny's, we've been talking to her. We haven't really nailed down what to do there, but and also Jody at Great Lakes. But I wanted to point out that in our next steps, you've seen a number of notes here about us getting in contact for a next meeting. So we'll be tracking that information closely as we go forward to try to get all of that done. So Chell, if you could go back to your slide.
I will try. Give me just a second. My screen was has gone kind of crazy. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. So that's really the first sub bullet there about finalizing the case studies. And again, if I didn't mention you or passed over you in that list, and you think we should be actively working with you to get that done, just let me know. The models, each one of these case studies has associated with it a business process model. And as you know, if you've been involved in the program in the past, we have a number of models that already exist. And in this phase, we've created a bunch more. So right now, we are in the process of migrating all of those models to a standard format, which will go into the water sector value model repository, which will be on a site where, folder structure where everybody can access them. So that's a very tedious process of doing a conversion. That standard format allows people to use those models across many different modeling tools. So you're not locked into any particular technology. You can just grab the model, and you'll see the alignment between those models in the case studies that get created. So that's where we stand. And again, I'd encourage anybody, if you think we should be in touch with you about a particular case study that you want to contribute, just let me know.
And Cello,
any questions?
I just point out, we have 5 minutes left. John Norton is also on the call.
Yes, I know.
Good.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Just having a bowl of cereal, so I'm sorry about that. We are trying to start up another awesome group that would be focusing on energy management at water and wastewater utilities. As you guys are fully aware, there's a lot of difference between what the perceptions are, the realities and such. So there is a bit of a cultural change with regarding to energy management. So we decided to focus in on a couple things that we could be very productive with. And then as it grows, we can certainly start to assess other aspects of energy management. So the initial focus is utility energy management, tightening that in. How are we currently managing our energy? And then tightening in even a little further, a focus on how we perform measurement of energy usage with regards to measuring, monitoring, and reporting energy usage at water and wastewater utilities. I have with me today also Eric Griffin. Eric Griffin is the Great Lakes Water Authority Energy Program Manager, and together we'll be leading this effort. So right now we're in the recruitment stage. We have a few really awesome utilities that are interested. So it's going to be a bit of a process, but also like a how-to, what do you do sort of discussion at first. So this is a sales pitch, but it's free. You get free things and no extra cost.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Any other comments or thoughts or ideas? Okay.
Yes, real quick, Mike Sweeney. We are working on a presentation for a project management office, a PMO approach to asset management. And we also, I think we might have something already in Signavio. I'm not sure of that, but I heard your requirement to make sure it's tied to a business process, which I think we could do. So we're working on a presentation that would go along with that. You had Toho Water and my name on the spreadsheet. I'm just adding a little bit to it, that's what we were intending to do, is a PMO approach, which ties into not only asset management plans and execution, the operational side of it, but also the people side of it. The formation of the PMO, its maturity is a bit of an interesting story, so I won't take any more time up, just FYI.
Mike, I'll send you an email just to follow up on that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so before I'm gonna see, are there any more questions or thoughts? Okay, I just want to also one more time acknowledge that so many people have been doing amazing work on this project, and basically we would run out of time for me to mention all the folks who are making great contributions, and I want to say thank you to everybody. So if there are no other comments, I wish everybody a great weekend and stay safe. And if you have any questions, please don't